Hi, I'm Mike McCormick here at GBTA Studios, and I'm here with Reggie Aggarwal, CEO of Cvent. Good to see you, Reggie.
Good seeing you, Mike.
Wow, so what a story with Cvent. I mean, you've had explosive growth, you're in a position, certainly a lead position in your sector, and now here you are, and then announcing yet more products. So give me a quick kind of update on Cvent, and then we'll talk about the industry.
We've had a lot of changes over the last 6 months, as you know.
Yes.
We recently got acquired by a company called Vista. It's a private equity firm. And then we also essentially acquired a firm called Lanyon, which is one of our competitors.
Right.
So now we're about 2,700 people,
wow.
About 28,000 customers and a couple 100,000 users around the world. And we're, investing heavily into innovation and continuing to make sure we deliver great solutions for our customers.
So I was recently at you with your offices, and you were talking about just the number of engineers that you have working on the solutions.
Yeah.
Give me that number.
So we're about 900 engineers, and I'll tell you why that's important, is that a lot of people, as they're growing, they're adding to a lot of other functions, which are important.
Right.
But to me, it really comes down to if you build good products that are innovative and simple,
right,
then that's what's going to win the market. And so our view is that we measure our success by how many engineers we have. And our view is that the more engineers we have, the more innovative and more solutions we can create for our customers.
So with all that horsepower, what are the top couple things you're putting all the energy into?
Sure. I'll tell you the number one, and this is interesting. What we've learned is that you can have a real in-depth product with a lot of function, a lot of features,
right,
but everything is now about UI and simplicity.
Right.
And so getting people to actually use it and want to use it, especially as you take your products and they get used by more than just power users.
Right.
As it gets to the incremental users.
More of the long tail.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
And so what we spent a lot of our energy on is a new product that we've just come out with called Flex. And essentially what it does is it makes it so simple for people to do and use that they don't have to spend hours learning Cvent. They can build, for example, an event or a meeting in under 10 minutes.
Wow.
And we've made it very intuitive, and we put a lot of energy, about 2.5 years into that, and we just released it just last month. So we're pretty excited about just making our products easier, because that's actually what resonates most with our clients.
And seemingly with the deeper and deeper crossover of the buyers here who have the more transient travel responsibility, but now also the meetings responsibility, seems like tools like that must be pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, I'll give you two observations. So we've gotten more into the travel side because we also have a company called, that was called Lanyon, meaning business transient.
Right.
And so now we're getting much more dealing with travelers on the business transient side.
Right.
But pivoting back to the meeting side, it's an interesting stat. There's a couple things that we like to tell people, that a typical company, when they do their business travel, anywhere between 30 and 40% of that travel is being impacted because people are going to meetings or events or hosting their own.
Right.
So it's a large part of their job. They may not sometimes realize it.
Right.
And so what's naturally happening is that the meetings and events side is either going under marketing or it's going under the travel division, because as more and more meetings happen and more people realize that there's a positive impact that can be made, I think a lot of travel managers are starting to realize that they're getting meetings under them, or it's certainly influencing their division.
Right.
So they have to understand it more. And so of course we produce the tools that allow them to get more strategic with it and to leverage technology.
Right, wow. And so, and all this on a global level?
Yeah, we have offices all around the world. We just, as a matter of fact, last quarter opened up offices in Singapore and Australia.
Wow.
We have a big presence, so about almost more than a third of our employees, about 900 or 1,000 are outside of the US. And so our product is definitely global because our customers, a lot of the large enterprises, they clearly have operations all over the world. So usually when people work with our platform, they standardize and go across the globe. And so we've definitely had to have a global solution in terms of from the language, in terms of the support, and of course in terms of the functionality with each locality, and that's one thing where our scale has certainly been an advantage. But I think what people are seeing is that you need a global platform for meetings and events, and travel is starting to realize, the industry is starting to realize how much of travel is driven by people going to meetings and events like GBTA's conference here.
Right. Well, so final word, what do you talk, what's the piece of advice you'd give to the buyers here? What should they be focused on?
What I would tell them is that understand why their travelers are traveling, and as they start looking at different ways to make influence in the corporation or their organization. Again, meetings and events is probably the most under-tapped and least understood.
Right.
And I think it's so strategic for an organization. It's more than just the travel part, it's strategic. And so I think embracing that and understanding the technology is important to the future, because that's what's going to continue to happen as it kind of starts to merge the travel and the meeting space.
And still so much opportunity in all that.
Absolutely a lot of opportunity.
Great. Reggie, great to have you.
Oh, well, thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Live from GBTA Studio, I'm Mike McCormick.